Hi everybody, this is Tom Hamilton and I'm walking outside of our local park because it isn't open yet. I'm actually recording this at 6 a.m. in the morning, so can't say I'm not hardworking. The reason I'm recording this intro at this time is because I've realised that the update I was hoping to run today about my visit to Graham Humphreys isn't ready to go yet. It's taking a bit longer to edit than I expected, and I want it to be as good as possible. I want to really show our audience the process that Graham is working through on the posters. So it's going to take a little bit longer, probably Sunday I'll have it ready. In the meantime, I thought I would give you another update, a completely fresh update, which is a sort of insight into my working process as a filmmaker. As we've mentioned in the campaign, we're using animation in this film, and it's really a way of illustrating things that you couldn't otherwise illustrate. Victoria Price's biography of her father is so good and is unflinching in its willingness to look into some of the less well-known parts of his nature, occasional moments in his life when he took a wrong path. And I want to reflect that in the documentary because I'm not interested in making films that are just pure hagiography of the person in question. I really want to give an in-depth flavour of these people that, you know, tells the truth. So, but a balanced truth. There's a particular sequence that we're working on at the moment, which is about a period in Vincent's life, early in his life, when he was in Europe in 1934. And he had a couple of experiences which were very, very important to him in very different ways. And we wanted to create a sequence that would reflect that and also show just how he could have taken a sidestep and become a completely different person, quite unrecognisable to the one that we know and love. Now, I have a funny way of working. These kind of sequences I don't really write down, but I get a concept of them, and I like to tell my collaborators that concept, and hopefully they will be able to take those verbal notes and work with them. So what you're about to see and hear is one of those notes to Jenny about this sequence, and some of you are going to see a longer version than others because if you've already pledged to the campaign, you'll get to see the full version of my notes. If you're just viewing this on YouTube or Facebook and haven't yet pledged, you'll only see a kind of slightly abbreviated version. If you become a pledger, you'll be able to look at the whole video. Otherwise, you'll just see a snippet and get flavour, and maybe later on you'll decide to pledge and get to see the whole thing then. So anyway, that's the little bit of introduction I wanted to give to this, and here it is. I've had a vision of how I would like to see these scenes run, and I'm hoping this is going to fit in with what you've done so far, you know, without altering it too much. Now, my understanding of what you're doing is that you've got Vincent climbing up the scaffolding to see the, you know, to get close to the sculptures and the stonework. So we have that, and then when he's in place on the scaffolding, what I would like to have is a very wide shot of the cathedral, scaffolding, Vincent, the small figure standing there, obviously in the center somewhere. And I imagine that he has like a notepad, or you know, he's drawing, or you know, making a sketch of the stonework. And what I would like to happen is we have this gradual pull in towards him. So we move in towards him. It might take about 12 to 15 seconds. It will be very kind of spiritual. The music underlining this will be like kind of Bach organ music. And so we get close until it's about head and shoulders behind Vincent with the stonework in front of him. And then we see his hand sketching, and he's touching the stonework, so very, very close shots there. And then a reverse angle of an extreme close-up of Vincent, young Vincent, of course, very moved by what he's seeing and what he's experiencing. And then we have one more shot of him touching the stonework. And then his hand pulls out the shot. And we cut to Vincent in the extreme close-up again. And now there's something different about his expression. It's a look more of exhilaration, of excitement, perhaps. And then what happens is we start to pull out again. And now he's no longer standing on the scaffolding in front of Bamberg Cathedral. He is in the middle of a vast crowd at the Nuremberg rally, watching Adolf Hitler speak. I hope you enjoyed that little taster of my directorial style, and if you'd like to see the rest of the video, please go to the Kickstarter campaign and pledge on any of the rewards. You'll then get to see my updates in full as they come out. So please feel free to do that, and I'll hope you'll join us, and I hope you enjoy all our updates. Okay, well, I shall bid you adieu. As I said, it's 6 a.m. in the morning, so I'm going home and going to bed. Bye now.